Hello, I'm Miss Susan from the Cape May County Children's Department, and this is a Cooking at Home with Your Child video. Today I'm going to be making cream of potato soup. Every fall, when the weather starts to get a little cooler out and Halloween's right around the corner, I always get out this recipe because it's super easy and delicious. Everyone loves it. In fact, I usually serve it during Halloween time when I was a teacher. And my students would come for trick-or-treating. They'd also come for a cup of cream of potato soup. So this is super easy, only a few ingredients, and you're only messing up one pot. Okay, so what are you going to need for cream of potato soup? The first thing you're going to need is some red potatoes. Depending upon how much soup you're making will depend upon how many potatoes you're going to use. I like to use around 10 or 12 potatoes for like a medium-sized pot of soup. But if I'm making for a lot of people, I'll use an entire 5-pound bag of red potatoes. The next thing you need for cream of potato soup is a bag of celery. Okay, I usually use somewhere around 4 to 6 celery stalks, depending upon how big the celery is and how much soup I'm making. I also use one medium-sized sweet onion. Okay. So the other ingredients that you'll need to purchase for this recipe is a can of carnation, evaporated milk, salt, pepper, and parsley flakes. And you'll need a stick of butter. So I'm using Keller's salted butter. So that's what you're going to need for this recipe, okay? So the first thing I do is I get my pot out and I fill it with some water. So I filled about halfway full of water, okay? Then I take my red potatoes and my peeler, and I peel, after I wash my potatoes, I peel the potatoes. You might want to be careful when you're using a peeler because peelers can be really sharp, so you might want to ask mom or dad for some help when you're peeling with a peeler. After I get my potato nice and peeled, then I'm going to use a knife, and you want mom or dad's help with a knife. And I'm going to cut it the potato in slices about a ½ inch. Here's my potato wide. Here's how it is slice-wise. And I'm going to cube it. You want to make all your potato cuts to be around the same size, otherwise the potato won't cook evenly. Once I have the potato cut up, then I put it into my pot. Okay. And so I do all my potatoes that way. Then I get out my celery, and I slice up my celery. You can see me slicing down here. Cut down the length of my celery. And then I make little celery pieces cut up. I already have some cut up here, you can see, right there. So then I put them into the pot with the potatoes. After I cut up enough celery, then I take my onion and I cut it in half, and then I slice down the halves. Okay, so I'm actually using about a half of the onion, maybe a little bit more, depending on how much onion or what size soup I'm cooking up. them in little bits as well. Just slice them up into little pieces. Okay. Once I have them sliced up, then I'm going to go ahead and add that into my pot of soup. If I feel like I need a little bit more water in my soup, this would be the time I'd add the water on. But if I feel like I have all the potatoes and celery and onion, the amount I want in it, then I'm going to put it on the stove and put it on medium-high heat until that cooks. Okay, now I'll bring it over to the stove here. Okay. Now this pot here has been cooking for a little while, so now my potatoes, can you see that? The onion and celery has cooked down, and the potatoes are getting nice and soft. Okay. You can also add carrot or whatever else you might like vegetable-wise into it, but this is the recipe I have and enjoy. Once it gets to that consistency, the key is you want to smash up some of the potatoes. Okay. And get them smashed up nice and thin, and it's kind of like you're really adding to the thickness of the soup by smashing up your potatoes. Okay, so I just take my spoon and I just smoosh the potato pieces against the side of my pot, and that kind of breaks the potato into chunks. Don't worry, you're still going to have lots and lots of nice big potato pieces for your soup. Okay, I'm going to smush that up some. Once I get my potatoes smushed up to the amount I want it to be, you can see it looks a little milkier now because I smashed up some of my potatoes. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my stick of butter. This kind of sweetens up the flavor of the onions. Okay, so I'm going to just let that go right into my potato soup. Okay. Grab a paper towel, wipe my fingers off. Okay, and I'm going to just melt that right into my potato soup. I'm going to cut it into little chunks. And break that down. Oh, it smells so good. If you could smell this yummy soup, you would love it. Okay, let me show you my butter melting in my soup. Who doesn't like potatoes and butter, right? Potatoes with butter on it. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to add some pepper. Go ahead and add some pepper onto my soup. Usually I just give the whole surface of the soup a coating of pepper, but if you like pepper, you can add more. Okay. See how much pepper I added? Nice coating of pepper. Okay. Now I'm going to add my salt. Now, you have to be careful with salt because if you add too much salt, the soup is going to be super salty and you're not going to enjoy the taste of it. So you can't take the salt out, but you can always add more salt in. So I only just do a quick little swish of salt across the top of it because when I get the soup done, I can always add the salt in on my own bowl of soup. I can always add it in. Okay. Once I have that done, now I'm going to add the parsley flakes. I like lots of parsley flakes. You might not like as much. Okay, so you decide how much you want. Okay, so now I added my butter, my salt, my pepper, and my parsley flakes. So now I'm going to stir that all up. That butter's melted away. Still smashing some more potatoes on the side. Smells yummy. Now, fall is a great time for soup and sandwiches. This could be a lunch meal, this could be a dinner meal, but you might want to do grilled cheese sandwich alongside this cream of potato soup, or some ham and cheese sandwich, or if you've had ham recently and you have leftover ham, my husband likes to add chunks of leftover ham into the potato soup. So that's a yummy thing. Okay. Show you one more time here. That's really getting pretty now, right? Okay, now I'm going to add my last step. My last step is the can of Carnation instant milk. Okay, so I'm going to shake that milk can up really well. I've already washed the top and bottom really well because you don't want anything, germs or whatever from eating in the grocery stores. So it even says shake well on top. So you shake that really well. Then I get a can opener. And I'm going to go ahead and open up each side of the can, like so. And I'm just going to pour that right over into the soup. This is where the cream comes in, and the fat comes in a little bit, but it's so delicious. Okay, so I have my can of Carnation added. Stir that up. Okay. And I'll show you one last time here. You see the difference? It's nice and creamy white. Another thing you can add in here is leftover mashed potatoes if you have them. Okay? And then all I do is put the lid on and let it simmer. So it takes less than an hour to actually make this because, you know, it takes a little while to for the potatoes to soften so that you can smash them. So you can make the whole soup in less than an hour, and it's one pot that you're cleaning up, and it's super delicious, and it's certainly great for fall cool weather. So I hope you get a chance to try out this recipe and let us know how you liked it, and I'll see you next time.